That's right. I think that Fatina has always ended on the upper end because he's always been this combo player. But with both players playing relatively control-oriented decks, I think Sheepy has an edge as far as play skill in the matchup. But again, I think the decks, the way they're built, that Fatina has a small edge.
That's really been Fatina's thing, I feel like. Well, to be fair, Fatina has made some crazy decisions in some crazy games. The European Shadowverse Open champion,
Absolutely.
He currently carries the title. He's the champion of
Europe. And he got second, the season before, and he's back in both of the first
second
weeks.
And then first, and now he's here again. And the tournament, the season that he got second, he was on winner's side too. He was really, really dominant.
Yeah.
The Akamar Red was able to take that from him, and now Fatina's back, and he's kind of the top, right? The top of the top. The Shadowverse Open is to be believed.
Right.
Fatina is the best.
Well, it better be believed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are we doing here?
But Akamar Red is the second best in the world. Fatina is only the best in Europe.
That's true. But that could change, if Fatina keeps earning these league points and he's like, a shoe-in for the Contenders Cup,
I want to see
like
Fatina at the World Grand Prix.
Me too.
I think Fatina would do very well.
I think his style is so out of the ordinary for, the Japanese metagame as well. Like, they're always, form function. They don't really play the combo decks as much in big competitive play out there.
Yeah.
And I think Fatina could just, sideswipe them
with
just outside-the-box thinking.
So here we go. Sheepy doing the classic.
And here's what I was talking about with these Fall from Grace. Now, against Dragoncraft, they do have some good value. Taking out a Canyon of the Dragons, by transforming it, great.
Yeah.
Taking out a Bahamut and the like, great.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get a lot of value up the curve.
Fall from Grace. There you can see it on screen. Transform a follower or amulet into a fallen angel. It's a 1/3 with Drain. Can be targeted your side, their side, anybody's side.
All the sides.
Yeah.
That's right. And we haven't really seen it be as effective as on your own stuff yet. We've only been seeing it on the opposing side. I really do want to see how that option feels like. I guess the matchups haven't really been aggressive enough for it to matter.
Yeah.
And Sheepy, going back to old Sheepy status, taking up the full turn.
Yep. And then the Gemstone Carapace.
He's like, this is the match. You've got to be feeling if you're Sheepy. If I win this match, I'm pretty good to win this entire tournament.
Yes.
I want to take my time. And again, if you guys are thinking, why does it take him, 5 minutes or whatever to think about this Gemstone Carapace play? He's not thinking about the Gemstone Carapace play. That play's already been made.
Yeah. He's
thinking about the next 5, 6, 7 turns.
What does he want to position in based on how his opponent has drawn, It's even deeper into looking at the tells, right? Like, based on what Fatina is playing, what do you think he has in his hand?
That's right.
Is it gummy?
Maybe if you take this long, you also put this weird thought in your opponent like, oh, maybe he has 2 or 3 different 2-drops in his hand, and you try to develop maybe some kind of a mind game against your opponent with how long you take on your turns.
And that's actually a big tell. A lot of people just slam down options immediately. That means that, well, it's obvious now. Rather than taking a long time and then playing an option. You can never tell if they had to think very hard about the decisions they had to make. Was it a sacrifice to play that option, or was it not?
Oh, interesting choice to play a Scyther into the evolution turn of Sheepy here. He doesn't have a Priest of the Cudgel, though. I think that was a super sloppy play from Fatina right there.
Yeah.
Gonna pay off for him, though.
Fall from Grace.
That's true. Fall from Grace could do something here.
Yeah, and this is probably the best scenario you can think of.
Yep.
Right.
This works too. I mean, basically just a way to clean up both these followers before the evolution turns. This is really going to slow Fatina down. Now, Fatina does have Sybil into Canyon of the Dragons, but Sheepy with these tech cards, maybe I said they were going to be a hindrance. Maybe in this matchup, that's exactly what he needed, because Havencraft gets bullied by Canyon of the Dragons, but with Fall from Grace, not so bullied by a 1/3.
Yeah. Fall from Grace would be great. Mr. Full Moon can be very good. Now, it mitigates a little bit less damage since Bahamut has been changed, but...
Really considering how he wants to take this out, going into a Breath of the Salamander turn, got to be thinking, okay, is my opponent going to play a Fervor, a Sybil, or a Breath of the Salamander? What's the best versus all 3 options? I think he's going to err on the side of attacking with Grimnir into it. just to give himself more board presence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you're thinking Breath of the Salamander, you could consider just attacking with the Snow White and going face. It does get some face damage in. But I like this producing a better board. The reason I say that is because if Breath of the Salamander does get played next turn, that means another turn of no ramp for Fatina, and I think you want that as Sheepy.
Yeah. As we know, Sybil was the only option here for Fatina. Spend the Evolve here, and that means that the Snow White and the Turtle actually survive. So the value trade really worked out for him there.
Absolutely. Sheepy on top of his game today. I like it.
And he's thinking hard about it. There he is. Just a
one turn too late.
Come on, man.
Talk about a snowball. I think if he had Priest of the Cudgel last turn, this game would have been a lot harder to win for Fatina.
Yeah. I mean, look at Fatina's hand, right?
Yeah.
It's just
clunk. Big clunk.
It's only, what, like 2 turns away from activating, but still, that could be the opening enough to put you in a bad spot.
Now, Canyon will give him a nice little leg up. Like, Fall from Grace will probably have to go on that, unfortunately, which will slow Sheepy down. Hopefully he can maintain a big enough board to actually deal with the 5-5 along with the 1-3 the turn that he wants to do that. We'll have to see. This could be a really awkward turn where he actually just evolves the Priest of the Cudgel anyway just to keep a big solid board here, and that looks like what he's going to do.
Based on the draw, it actually could be tough for Fatina to deal with it. There's a lot of not so great cards, you know, in the 1 or 2 play point territory that might be very irrelevant.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, that's...
Oh, still goes with the Canyon.
Interesting. I think he might be upset at the Fall from Grace.
Yeah, Sheepy definitely going to take his time on this turn.
You could... Yeah, there are a lot of options, because you could definitely Blacken Scripture that Dragon with the Fall from Grace here and just leave the 1-3 up.
Yeah, a lot of options. Can use the Blacken Scripture, can use the Evolution Orb. Really just depends. I think either way he is going to trade out the board instead of going for face. Again, he is an Aegis deck, not a Heavenly Knight deck. He's not trying to end the game immediately, just trying to get to that Aegis turn.
Well, the Aegis is going to be big against the options that Dragon plays, right? Once you have the Aegis down, you're a lot less scared of anything, especially when this is not a Tilting at Windmills deck. The Aegis represents control, and double Aegis represents... I don't think he's running 2, but double Aegis does represent...
This is a double Aegis deck. Oh, yeah.
So Bahamut might actually just become a dead card.
It could in the end game. Yeah, the other funny thing about this matchup is that Bahamut is actually vulnerable to Aegis now. Aegis before couldn't take out a Bahamut. Yeah, it would just swing back. But now, Bahamut, little measly 9/9, Aegis can go right over the top of him.
Very interesting.
This was foreseen.
All right, so far I've got to like Sheepy's position. Fatina did not ramp to 10 there.
Zernitra, and this is something that we have not seen in I don't know how long.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
These scales can't be. Spread your mighty wings.
It was played as a 1-of, but I believe Fatina's playing it as a 3-of. That is his 7-drop option. He is not playing the Saha Quill package. He likes the Zernitra package, and I really like it in a slower format because it's board fill. Board fill a little bit better, I feel like, in a format where A, there's not a lot of board removal, and B, you're just trying to grind out these super long games.
I shall guide you to glory. The flames are fading.
Leaving the 4 damage on board. I don't think he can spend this last Evolution Orb.
He's got to save it for the Aegis here.
Zeus comes down, and this is the immediacy that Dragon is afforded.
Yeah, this is rough. No way to deal with it this turn. Okay. Go for the gamble. I feel like Haven has to do this so much.
Oh, God, no!
No. It feels bad for Sheepy.
There's no way to actually get rid of it, so he's just taking another 5.
Yeah, fortunately for him, though, there's not a repeat offender this turn in another Zeus or something huge.
He does have Storm from the Scyther, so that's 7 damage this turn.
Yeah.
Which might be the tipping point.
And remember, guys, Bahamut does not pop Tribunal anymore, so Bahamut is a free and easy play around Tribunal now if that option needs to be put into use.
That's it, I think. 3, 5. No, it's not quite over yet.
Not lethal yet.
Yep. Yep, Heavenly Aegis is down, so this is a 2-turn clock if he is afforded the opportunity to swing face any of the second Aegis, remember, because he can drop his Ether of the White Wing here.
Yeah. Yep, Israfil automatically plopped.
But the Israfil will actually be taken down by the Aegis, so it's just about drawing Storm, right?
Yep.
And if this is a nice... Okay.
This is a rough turn, so if you're Sheepy, you want to get that second Aegis down. Now, if you do that, you leave the Sybil up, and that's scary.
If you get the second Aegis down, you win on the next turn.
Yes.
So I actually would take that risk.
Well, not necessarily, because it's not 20.
Oh, that's right. It's not evolved. Oh, boy. Then this gets real complicated,
Yeah,
I
this
feel
is
like.
sketch. This is real sketch.
You have the Tribunal popping.
Oh,
my God.
I think Sheepy is going to barely eke this one out.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding?
And
one off
Fatina
people.
knows Bahamut doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Bahamut is shut off as a card.
1-1 going into this last turn. Are you
Sheepy
kidding me?
is going to draw, but he's going to lock his board state.
I don't think he can afford to lock it. I guess it doesn't really matter,
It doesn't
right?
really
It's
matter.
either this
It's
turn or
just-
not.
This is the way that it is now.
1-1. You can't really ask for a better game, right?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Sheepy's doing the
my
prayer.
God.
Oh!
No!
That is not going to do it.
No! The Ayala shows up, says, "Hey, what's going on?"
What's
It's
up,
like,
guys?
No! Get out! I don't want to see you.
Whew.
Wow! Double Heavenly Aegis is gonna win it. My God!
Yeah.
That last... This is why it's so important to save your evolution orbs, because that last orb provided Sheepy the opportunity to play the Heavenly Aegis in a time of desperate need.
That's right. Wow. So
Oh
close.
my
Sheepy
gosh.
even shaking his head at that one. He's like, oh my God. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
And now Sheepy only has to win with his controlled dirt rune. This is the deck, guys.
Yep. This
This
is
is
where
the deck.
this is the day that controlled dirt.
Silver Blade Golem. Can it do work? We have yet to see it win a single game on stream.
This one's for my family.
Oh my gosh.
Again, I can't say that Dragon's probably the deck that can do it. However, Bahamut doesn't get rid of sigils anymore. So there could be a way that you can play into an endgame to where it does happen.
Yeah.
But I want to see it work. I have to see it work to know what the heck people are thinking with this deck.
It's nice because Professor of Taboos is great against big
Absolutely.
cards. So he has some options, and I like the way Sheepy has built this deck, right? It has flexibility in it, whereas a lot of other decks were trying to just lean on Silver Blade Golem, I think, a little too heavily.
A little too heavily. Yeah. This deck just looks like a burn rune deck, like normally would, going up the curve, except instead of Oz late game with a bunch of spells, we see Professor of Taboos and Mysteria and things like that.
And really, like, the Mysteria on turn 5 play, the way you think about it is, whereas perhaps there were some turn 5 options with, whatever you want, a combination of runes plus Halo Golems or whatever to give you a burn, Mysteria kind of catches you up on that damage by increasing spell damage by 1, right? So maybe on turn 6, you have a bunch of stuff like piercing runes or whatever it is, right? Or even things like Levi. Then you catch up on damage.
It's actually her effect that I like. So the comes into play and gives you those things. You know what I mean? Like Karabas, Mysteria, all those things. I think they're slightly better than what Bloodcraft has access to, right? They have the ones that say last words. Then it happens. That's why I think we don't really see the Bloodcraft ones that much, like Jormungand. You know what I mean?
It's
Because
like the
they
White
just take
Wolf-ish
so long.
problem.
Yeah. Except they don't have Rush.
Yeah.
So you have to use an Evolution Orb on them just to like get somewhere with them. It's really rough.
Yeah.
I think that all cards should be similar. In comes into play, you get the effect. Just to make them playable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The immediacy is certainly a thing.
Yeah.
To be fair, White Wolf is fairly playable. I think that's because of its rush.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like comes into play, get its effect.
Right. Like, I guess if you guys were watching our release event when Chronogenesis first came out, you saw Executioner's Axe utilized with Jormungand and things of that nature, and not to get the action going, but you have to play something like Executioner's Axe to make it work.
Yeah. Adding another card to the combo is always headaches. All right.
This song's for you.
Well, we are into a game with little to no ramp on the Dragoncraft side.
Mm-hmm.
Not happy times.
A lot more options. I guess there is Sawquill in this deck as well. I remember seeing more than one Zernitra, though. I believe there are 3 in the deck.
Yes.
So basically just playing all the options. Really heavy on the curve. And I think it's just Carl here. I think you just do a regular burn rune opener here. No reason not to.
Especially when you discover, I mean, the Blazing Breath is going to help a lot.
Right.
And
I think Magic Missiles might even be better saved for the late game with Mysteria already played. So it's kind of a weirdness deck, right? Magic Missile's always been this card where you play early to filter, but in this deck can get a lot more value the longer you hold on to it.
That's 2. Oh, wow. Okay.
Great draw.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Wow. That's good.
Pretty good. Can go with double removal here. Interesting. Chooses to take care of the Carl instead of the Dwarf and Alchemist. Whereas the Dwarf and Alchemist can actually draw cards, the Carl can't. And I don't think the defense healing matters. I don't like that. I think Fatina should have taken out the Alchemist here.
Yeah, and Sheepy happily takes the opportunity and hits the Halo Golem too.
Hits a curve with it. Best possible scenario for Sheepy here.
All right, now we're on turn 6, and Blazing Breath can't get rid of both.
Scyther will have to use up an Evolve here.
Yeah. It will survive, but Piercing Rune is a thing.
Magic Missiles. Yeah, lots of ways.
Though the thing for Sheepy here, I think he's going to lead on Magic Missiles. It's kind of bad that you haven't hit Mysteria yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So you're going to... I feel like you should be searching for it now.
You're right. I think leaning on the Magic Missiles to top deck. I mean, there's no Silverblade Golem in hand yet. No Mysteria in hand yet. Not even any sigils to use with the Professor of Taboos yet.
You can Magic Missile and set up the sigil in one fell swoop.
It's interesting. Does he want to use a Piercing Rune? Does he want to use a Magic Missile? These are the considerations right now.
I think you use the Magic Missile because a Piercing Rune can get much more value if you play the Mysteria in the future, right?
That's true. I mean, they're all +1, but right now, again, I think you just need more card draw. These Halo Golems aren't really what you want right now. They were good on curve. I mean, it could be another way to just end the game, though. I mean, maybe he is just thinking like a Burn Rune player right now.
If you throw, like, all the spells to face, I could see it.
I mean, there's only a Draconic Fervor in the hand for Fatina, right? Okay. As I say this.
Oh, my gosh. And he's just at 10 play points now.
That's the perfect turn or 7 play point play,
yeah.
Obviously. You get a Dragon Oracle with either a Sybil or Fervor, and you just go right up to 10. It feels amazing.
I think you have to do things like Halo Golem.
I don't think you can.
I think you have to draw.
I think you have to save that sigil for the Professor. If you don't, you're just going to get run over by a Zeus or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. But you need more sigils.
Need more sigils.
And because you haven't installed Mysteria yet, I mean, you have one more turn to do so.
I swear, Rainey, if this deck doesn't win another game, if Sheepy loses both of these games with this deck and then goes to loser's bracket and loses both of the... I don't... How is it getting people to top 8?
I have no clue. Maybe everybody's just banning it on their way.
We have seen it banned. We saw it banned in the previous round for Sheepy.
Professor of Taboos.
This will lead directly into a Bahamut.
There it is. That's going to draw Sheepy a card.
All right. Is packing up on some sigils now. Is it enough, though?
Silverblade Golem, even Evolve won't be enough to take down the Bahamut, so that's very risky.
I mean, honestly, it's his only avenue, though. I mean, Master Mage Levi, I guess he could Master Mage Levi and Evolve. That is an out. And then he could Piercing Rune if he really wanted to.
I'd probably go with that. Really, it's... Okay, well.
This is probably a Master Mage Levy turn then. Oh, interesting.
Huh.
Okay. This allows him to play more things this turn. Okay, I really like this play. Definitely better.
Okay. So the question is, you play the Silver Blade Golem, and then on the next turn, how much burn do you have?
I mean, there's only 2 sigils at the moment, right?
6, 7, 8.
He's still no match for Mr. Dragon.
And he's going to heal. Wow. But there's just so much reach in terms of burn. The only question is, can you... You know, if there was Storm in hand of Fatina, this would almost be, you know, just a done game, right?
Right. If there was like another Zeus in hand for these Saha Quills to get a lot of use out of something like that, yeah, absolutely. But now that I'm actually seeing this go into the later parts of the game, Sheepy does have a lot of answers to big followers at the moment.
It's very... I mean, there's so much burn. It's just the only thing that would stop this is if Fatina could close the game out with Storm. That's going to be healing.
If he keeps drawing cards like that, though, never bad.
I mean, this provides you the opportunity to evolve and Piercing Rune, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting match to watch.
I think this is a possible silver blade golem here.
Finally get to see it actually hit play.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I think... Oh, wow. Wow. He's searching. There's the Mysteria.
Okay. Maybe a Mysteria play then.
Is that? I can't tell. No, that doesn't... That looks like Elta?
Oh, that's...
What is that? Oh, that's Star Reader Stella.
That's Stella, yeah.
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 Hard to see.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Star Reader Stella. Is there anything that it could draw that would really appease you?
I don't think so. I don't think any of this stuff matters. Maybe because I have an Evolution Orb left, Scorpius, just to take out one other big follower the course of this game. That's about it. I mean, I guess Star Phoenix could be pretty good, right? As like a value play. Just that way you have just a consistent board presence. But I don't think it's too spicy. I really like the way this game is going now, though. I think Sheepy is just grinding Fatina out. Fatina just not having the options to close the game out. Again, another nod to the fact that he's not playing Tilting or any combo pieces in his deck.
He needs to remove every single follower here. And he will. The Israfil. Okay. Draws another Rite of Exorcism. We were talking about this.
Such pain.
Wow.
Do you know about
Stella, hidden play.
Come here, sparkly stars.
All right.
Israfil down proper. That's interesting, you know. If he had the Silver Blade Golem, the game would be over. I'm pretty sure he would have just burned out 3 damage cells at 6 health. That turn would have closed out the game.
It's true.
But Sheepy just doesn't want to risk, I guess. I don't know what he didn't want to risk. He didn't hit any wards.
I mean, it's not a bad card, right? You get a free 6/6 essentially, and there's a Star Phoenix. So the grind game is now in favor of Sheepy, I believe.
Oh. But can he burn past it?
This will be the turn.
Sparkle, sparkle.
Is there a way to handle that, even? Well, you can Phoenix, Piercing Rune, Phoenix. That's 6.
Yeah. Not quite good enough. There's a Telescope, though, to draw an extra card if you want a chance maybe drawing into a Taboos or something.
Probably has to do that, right?
Yep, looking like it. Okay.
Okay.
Another redraw here.
A little bit nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
but okay.
And yeah, I think that's going to seal it. Carl's going to try to put him right above 9, so one attack doesn't get him, but we see a Scyther and Zeus.
Oh, right. Well, he can't play both, right? He's one of lethal.
Oh, right, because
Yeah.
Bahamut still has the claws.
Yep.
That's right.
Wait.
Spread your wings, proud and
But Zernicher plus Scyther
Yeah.
will
allow the.
Yep.
Yep. This will take down the follower.
Whew. What a close game.
Yeah. Zernicher plus Scyther. So I guess there was no way to do it, right? Even if you played the.
What I've noticed, Silverblade Golem really hard to use, especially when you different
Definitely
style.
needed to take the risk. I think the evolved Silverblade Golem, as we know, would have won the game.
Right.
But
it's tough.
Yeah, he basically had to guess, like, do I die on this turn? To be fair, the more I think about it, to be fair, like, even with the turns that he played, no, he would have let the Bahamut swing if he did that, right?
Yeah. There was a risk.
So there was definitely a risk.
There was risk, yeah. Now, the thing that I actually am worried about specifically, though, with this deck is Silverblade Golem in the other versions of the deck looked a lot easier to play because there weren't as many things popping on the sigils.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with a deck constructed to pop all of those sigils with the regular Burn Rune stuff
Yeah.
and Professor of Taboos, how do you really get a lot of use out of Silverblade Golem?
I think this is exactly why you need Mysteria, right? Because you rely less on the fact the Silverblade Golem gives you what you need to close out the game, but it's not what you're relying on to somewhat OTK, right? Like, you're not looking for it to be half your opponent's health or, 70% of your opponent's health.
Right.
You're looking for it to just be that little extra bump. Whereas Mysteria, I think, across the course of that game, right, just think about how much more damage each of those piercing runes would have done.
That's true.
How much more damage each of those effects from Levi and Halo Golem would have done,
And now we get to see Mysteria in hand already for Sheepy against a deck that has less healing than Dragon, but can close the door faster than Dragon, so we'll see.
I have no idea how any of these matchups go, and I
Right.
think this deck still suffers from the same runecraft problems of little to no wards and little to no healing.
That's right. We'll see how it goes. I mean, good hand from both players. I mean, they both have a curve to start this game off with.
And to me, I feel like I've seen enough games now of Summit Haven to really kind of the fact that there's no Summit Temple here makes it tougher.
It makes it tougher, a little bit harder to push through the early damage and filter the board as easily as you'd want to.
And just as
Absolutely.
any burn rune deck, right? Any damage you're taking to face, if you cannot challenge the board and you let these cards swing, right now, well, he's gonna get it. I guess an extra 1 damage because the Snow White is gonna pop back. But any opportunity you give for your opponent to just swing face is gonna be tough. He still has the magic missiles to reach as well.
Yeah, I think I like this curve quite a bit better from Sheepy because of the Mysteria. Everything else looks similar, but very nice aggressive start from him with the Mysteria already in hand, and I think he's just going to dump that next turn with the hand that he's got.
I think, so if you know you're going to play Mysteria Evolve, do you Halo Golem for board control?
I think so, right? You don't get the bonus from Halo Golem's damage.
Yep.
So you might as well get that. I might even go for board control here. I don't know. I think I might just push face. With Mysteria already in hand with 2 magic missiles and a piercing rune, I think I'm just thinking, okay, burn him out of the game.
I suppose if you throw everything face, there's little, after the Mysteria comes down, there's little to nothing Fatina can do to really climb back, right? Like, he's just going to sit here and burn, and you can't interact. It's just a race.
There's no interacting, absolutely. Looks like that's what Sheepy's doing. I mean, he could trade here, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, Fatina is going to take over the board. But like you said, after the Mysteria hits, I don't think it's going to matter that much.
Yep. There's not really much for Fatina to interact with, so... And especially with things like Piercing Rune, right? That just becomes so strong.
Oh, yeah.
After Mysteria.
Good old 3 and 3. Pretty good. Magic Missile's doing 2 damage. We didn't see any Chain Lightnings in this deck, did we? So nothing like that, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, just cheaper effects.
So. Which I feel like the cheaper spells, right? Because technically the spells scale much better, right? You're changing the Piercing Rune from a 2 play point for 2 damage to a 2 play point for 3 damage, whereas Chain Lightning goes for a 5 play point for 3 to a 5 play point for 4. It's not quite as efficient.
Right.
You want the cheaper spells.
Chose to save the Evolution Orb, I imagine, just so we can get more card draw of things like Dwarf Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. Now I just am looking forward to seeing these spells rain down.
Damage time.
Yeah. Interesting they didn't evolve means that the Piercing Rune is still expensive. I'm pretty sure it's still 4.
Man, with 3 magic missiles, that's like 6 damage. He can just pop to face right now and just filter
draw a bunch of cards
if he wants to. I don't think he's gonna do that this turn. I mean, he's got a Dwarf Alchemist he can evolve. There's no reason not to do that this turn.
Yeah, I think that evolving the Dwarf Alchemist is probably gonna give you the card that will close out the burn game. Yeah. Now he's got 1 more turn until that. He's got 2 more turns. Sorry, until Heavenly Knight becomes a thing.
Yeah, I think this is just Alchemist and Piercing Rune. I'm not sure why the Magic Missile first. I mean, always drawing your cards first is not a bad deal. But I think in this scenario, I'd actually like to pop the Dwarf Alchemist before I draw. I think that filter is a little bit better, but looks like he got what he wanted anyway. And did, like you said, get his end game, win condition. So everything's looking up this game. I can see how this deck actually progresses. The other ones, so much harder.
Yeah. Look at that. 3 and 3.
Yeah, unreal.
3 and 3. That's crazy. Piercing Rune scales so well with Mysteria.
And yeah, next turn, just with Magic Missiles and Halo Golem, you know what I mean? You're already staring at 7 damage from hand.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Hayden's going to be able to come back.
The board doesn't even matter.
Yeah, the board doesn't matter anymore.
None of this matters. 4 for 5 play points, and then you get another 2/6.
Yeah, it's not over this turn. But there's not a lot of turns left for Fatina. At most, probably another 1 to 2.
Yeah, without any healing, if he doesn't pull a Curate here, I think it's done.
Oh no! Frog Lyric!
The Frog Lyric showed up just to say hi, and then it said bye, and it just left.
And Sheepy showing what's up.
Mysteria!
Look at this, guys. Okay. Roland wins. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. Word Wielder Ginger wins. Okay? Today, Mysteria and Elder Dragon Titan, Silverblade Golem himself
Silverblade Golem
wins. Maybe. The meta is all over the place. Okay? You can play